Hello everyone. In our coverage of NCERTs, now I am taking the study of 11th class NCERT, the part that I have not talked much about. It is the sphere of our environment that is called biosphere. So NCERT gives us the life on planet Earth. Chapter number 15, I am taking the study of that with support of certain diagrams as I always do. So let's get going with our study of NCERT. The chapter 15, Life on Earth, is what we are taking. The very fundamentals of ecology. Actually, we identify it to be principles of ecology. And we need to understand that these principles do not change. I can change the biome that I want to study. I can consider it to be the natural biome, or I can consider it to be man-made biome. But in all the cases, the fundamental principles of ecology don't change. This chapter essentially talks about that, and we are trying to understand that in our learning. So when I talk about life in planet Earth, so first paragraph, I'm slightly zooming in more. First paragraph essentially reads that with the three major realms of our environment, that is lithosphere, the land, the atmosphere, air, and the hydrosphere, we know that the narrow zone of contact of these three spheres, which supports life, is called biosphere. So our 6th class NCERT actually gives us this diagram. If I believe this to be lithosphere, this to be atmosphere, and this to be hydrosphere, this narrow zone of contact between the three realms will be biosphere. And biosphere is that realm which supports life on planet Earth. Box item reads, life on Earth is found almost everywhere, and living organisms are found from the poles to equator, from bottom of the sea to the several kilometers in air. So basically, what facilitates possibility of life that we have in biosphere? All the living components of the earth, it consists of all plants, animals, including all microorganisms that lives on planet Earth and their interaction with surroundings. So when I talk about what is life, so I'm concerned with biosphere. What is biosphere? Biosphere is a narrow zone of contact of lithosphere, atmosphere, and biosphere. And biosphere is comprised of all the types of living forms, irrespective of their size, and also the interactive relations between them. This is the reason we easily integrate biosphere with the study of ecology. Biosphere and its components are very significant elements of the environment. These elements interact with other components of natural landscape such as land, water, and soil. They are also influenced by atmospheric elements such as temperature, rainfall, moisture, sunlight. The interactions of biosphere with land, air, and water are important to the growth, development, and evolution of organisms. So if I have to take this study, what is biosphere? Biosphere is life-bearing sphere. Life-bearing sphere includes not just organisms, but their surrounding also. And when I talk about organisms and their surrounding, automatically this part of NCERT becomes significant. Carefully see this. The interaction of a particular group of organism with abiotic factor within a particular habitat, resulting in clearly delineated energy flow and material cycle on land, water, air, is called ecological systems. What exactly you need to understand is that if I integrate the term, I want to first integrate the term is ecology. Ecology can also be defined as a discipline which basically incorporate the study of interaction. Ecological study is a study of interaction. An interaction that is there between organisms as well as their surrounding. And that is the reason when we talk about ecology, I'm essentially talking about which sphere of environment? I'm talking about biosphere, because biosphere is a life-bearing sphere. Certain important information is here which we can easily take into account. Like a German zoologist used the term ecology in 1869, became the first person to use the term ecology. The study of interactions between the forms, biotic and physical environment is science of ecology. Hence, ecology can be defined as a scientific study of interaction of organism with their physical environment and with each other. The key term that we take into account here is interaction. Interaction of organisms with surrounding and interaction of organisms with each other. Take note of this before we proceed further. Ecology is study of interactions between biotic components with each other and with their physical environment. That means if I have to talk about interactions in details, I can further subcategorize it into abiotic, biotic, adaptations, and production, biotic, biotic, feeding, non-feeding, and biotic, abiotic. Decomposition. So what you need to understand is that when I talk about life, life-bearing sphere, biosphere, which is life-bearing sphere, is not just the narrow zone of contact of land, water, and air. Because I, as an organism, do require land, water, air in different proportion to say any aquatic organism. But the point here is that I also require interaction with other organisms. So the key term that comes up with biospheric study is interaction, and that is where ecology equals interaction, and interaction is the study that we correlate with life-bearing sphere of our environment, that is biosphere. This is where we can proceed with our study, and this is where ecology directly correlates with biogeography, because geographical study by default talks about ecosystems. Going back to NCERT now. Now, the second thing that NCERT talks about is a habitat. A habitat in ecological sense is the totality of the physical and chemical factors that constitute the general environment. So you have to take the distinction. Habitat and environment are different from each other. Environment is my surrounding. Habitat is what I occupy as an organism. Second statement reads, a system consisting of biotic and abiotic component is known as ecosystem. All these components in ecosystem are interrelated and interact with each other. And that interrelation and interaction is what we have taken in our flowchart already. I interact with my physical environment, I as an organism, so it will be biotic, abiotic interactive link. So that interactive link has to be applied with organisms concerned. And how do I take those organisms into consideration? We want to take it, first I read this statement, and then different types of ecosystems exist with varying range of environmental conditions, and this is where types of ecosystems are classified. But before we go to the types of ecosystems, we want to take the understanding of the abiotic and biotic factors So I want you to read it from NCERT before we go to the specific diagram to understand it. So what is ecosystem? Ecosystem is the highest hierarchical biological system where we take the understanding of interactive links of organisms. The structure of an ecosystem involves a description of available plants and animal species. From the structural point of view, all ecosystem is consist of biotic and abiotic factors. Abiotic factors can include rainfall, temperature, sunlight, atmospheric humidity, and biotic factors includes producer, primary, secondary, tertiary, and consumers with decomposers. Let us understand it with this before we get into the next level NCR. Ecosystem is comprised of biotic components that includes producers and consumers. Producers are autotrophs. They self-feed themselves. They are not dependent on other producers to feed. And autotrophs are further divided into chemotrophs and phototrophs. When I talk about chemotrophs, I take into consideration big range of worms and worms. They produce, they self-feed, but they don't support consumer. That is the reason all green plants are considered to be phototrophs. Not just that they self-feed, they feed consumers, and that is the reason they are called primary producers. And when I talk about consumers, consumers are divided into herbivorous, carnivorous, omnivorous, and a special type called decomposers. When we try to make the distinction between them, herbivorous are primary consumers, carnivorous are secondary consumers. Point is that herbivorous is directly dependent on plants for their requirement of food, energy, and matter, and carnivorous is passively dependent on plants. So primary producers are in direct interactive link with herbivorous, the primary consumers, and secondary consumers, carnivorous, is dependent on primary, the herbivorous life form. This is how the interactive link goes on. But if I take only this biotic component, what is the interactive link that I'm actually taking into account? I'm taking into account two links. When the primary producers are producing food, energy, and matter, utilizing sunlight, soil nutrient, gases from atmosphere, they are engaged in abiotic biotic link, as in they are converting abiotic substances to food, energy, and matter. And because they are converting abiotic factor to food, energy, and matter, they are engaged in the process of production. So one link that comes up is production. And when I talk about that herbivorous, say goat, has eaten grass, the phototroph, then which type of interactive link it will be? Biotic, biotic, that is feeding link. So that means when I'm talking about ecosystem and the biotic component, I'm essentially talking about producers and consumers as biotic component and what kind of interactive links they have with each other. So if I'm taking producers, they are giving me the link of production that goes as abiotic, biotic. And when I take consumers into account, then it becomes biotic, biotic, that is feeding interactive link. But when we take the reference of other links into reference, like I pick up decomposer. Which type of interactive link decomposers will support? Decomposers are reverting back what is being done by producer. So they are converting dead remains of organisms into abiotic substances. They are decomposing. They are actually reverting back the cycle. At this point, we can easily talk about abiotic biotic link is being reverted by decomposers as biotic abiotic link. Remind yourself, I'm quickly repeating the interactive links which goes as abiotic biotic production, capacity to convert abiotic substances to food, energy and matter, role played by producers. Every producer is not primary producer. The biotic link as feeding. And it is in this feeding link that we correlate what is called trophic levels. And we also have biotic abiotic link, that is decomposition. System always have components and interactive links. So is ecological system. See this diagram now. If I have to take trophic levels into account, trophic levels are defined to be organization of specimen in feeding relation. What does that mean? Producers will always occupy trophic level 1. They produce. They are producer, they produce and they self-feed. Along with it, they support the consumers. So if I take the primary consumer, directly dependent on producer. So primary consumer, rabbit in this case. Sunlight, soil nutrient, producer. So if I take this link out here, it is which type of link? Abiotic, biotic. I'm producing food, energy and matter and I'm trophic level 1. I'm feeding rabbits, the primary consumer. Which link has begun here? Biotic, that is feeding. And if I continue, I have got snake as secondary consumer, eagle as tertiary consumer. What exactly it is showing? It is showing that consumers can occupy more than one trophic level. However, producers will always occupy trophic level 1. And when I am having the possibility of occupying more than one trophic level, I create a complicated scenario. So the first thing to derive out from ecological or trophic levels is that autotrophs always occupies trophic level 1, always in trophic level 1, they produce it. Consumers can occupy more than one trophic level. This is first thing. Second thing, don't miss out on the energy loss. That is what is mentioned in this diagram as kilocalories. So I've got 10,000 kilocalories as trophic level 1. It has become 1000 kilocalories as trophic level 2. And then I get 200 kilocalories and 10 kilocalories. Ultimately, what I'm trying to say is that with every feeding level included, there will be increase in, and I'm writing it here, there will be increase in respirational loss. And that is the reason there is continuous decrease in the feeding capacity. It is always therefore that whenever we talk about food pyramid, we talk about pyramid, we don't talk about any other shape. Reason being, primary producers as trophic level 1 will have largest population. And as I'll be increasing the trophic levels, like you can see here, we have got herbivorous, the primary consumers, then the secondary consumers, second level carnivorous, third level carnivorous, top carnivorous. The number is population. Number of individuals is decreasing with increase in trophic level. And with this diagram, don't miss to see decomposers. Decomposers don't belong to trophic level. Like I, as solar energy, I as the any nutrient which is coming from water or soil do not belong to trophic level, because trophic level makes example of feeding link. Production is the base for feeding link, and decomposition is completion of nutrient cycle. Ecological system does include these interactive links. Going back there, production, feeding with trophic levels, and decomposition. And when I talk about trophic levels and decomposition, am I done with the interactive links with organism? Answer is no. Biotic community have interactive link with physical environment in terms of adaptation. It largely includes temperature and salinity. We essentially categorize between uri and steno-organism. Uri organism, which are omnipresent, they have got bigger range. And steno that have got smaller. And if I take adaptations beyond, we also have organisms demarcated into regulators and conformers. Regulators who can regulate their homeostasis, and conformers who fails to do so. So don't take that I as any herbivorous or carnivorous don't have my interaction with my physical environment. I do have that, though I'm not directly engaged in production. So what is the interaction that the other than producer? Let me use the term. What is the interaction that consumers are having with their physical environment? The interaction that consumers have with their physical environment can be taken as adaptation. Again, word of caution, is adaptation not applicable to plants? Of course it is. Because when I say conformers, almost every plant is conformer, and we have got maximum of heterotrophs belonging to conformers. It's mammals that are largely regulated. That is the reason mammals have got more omnipresence compared to the other organisms. Similarly, if I take biotic community link, is this link only related to feeding? There is certain deviations to it. See this block. I just delete out predation and parasitism, because this is the interactive link that will go with feeding. Rest all the interactive link is non-feeding. And what are these non-feeding interactive links? See them: neutralism, amensalism, commensalism, competition, mutualism. And we have got a very common term that goes up with it: symbiosis. Symbiosis essentially includes commensalism and mutualism. The term symbiosis is not there in the table, that is the reason I have written it. Now, if I take the biotic links that I as an organism interacting with other organism, I can have a neutral status in sense that I'm neutral of the other organism being present or not present. Like wolves and lichens are absolutely neutral to each other. So they don't have any direct interactive links, but because they are part and parcel of ecosystem, they do have passive role in each other's existence. Amensalism is where one organism is neutral, but other is losing out, other is not existing, or other is losing out on its habitat, its niche, or any other thing. So that is the reason amensalism is not considered to be with symbiotic relation, because symbiotic relation largely goes with no loss. Commensalism and mutualism are good examples of symbiosis. We live together and none of us bear loss. If both of us are gaining, it's mutualistic relation. And if it is that one is gaining and other is neutral, then it is called commensalism. These interactive links are non-feeding, but are which category of link? These are also examples of biotic interactive link. And not to miss out the competitive interactive link. And whenever we talk about competitive interactive link, it's surely detrimental. And Gauss's principle of competitive relation talks about competitive exclusion. We compete when we are having similarity of habitat. We compete when we have similarity of requirement. So automatically the superior one will take maximum of the niche and inferior one has to adjust. The competitive relation is always with negative or detrimental impact when it comes to the interactive specimen. This is the reason competition cannot be taken up as example of symbiosis. So interactive links in ecological system as abiotic, biotic, biotic, and biotic, abiotic essentially includes adaptations, production, feeding, non-feeding, and decomposition. Essentially speaking, decomposition is considered to be completion of the cycle, but there is other way around of looking at it. I can apply my food chain to be two types: detrital or grazing. If the food chain is grazing, then I mark the beginning from production. But if the food chain is detrital, it is also called saprophytic. If the food chain is detrital or saprophytic, then I begin from decomposition. That means from where I am attaining my soil nutrients. I am attaining my soil nutrients as decomposers have decomposed biotic matter. So in that sense, my cycle begins from decomposition. So it will not be an absolute statement that decomposition completes nutrient cycle. Because if I'm talking about beginning of nutrient cycle as detrital or saprophytic, then it is the beginning of nutrient cycle. So food chain is demarcated into these two types. I'm going back to NCR. The producers include green plants which manufacture their own food through photosynthesis. The primary consumers includes herbivorous like deer, goats, mice. The carnivorous includes flesh-eating animals like snake, tiger. Certain carnivores that feed also on carnivores are known as top carnivores like hawks and mongoose. Decomposers are those which feeds on dead organisms and further breaking down the dead matter by decomposing agents like bacteria and various microorganisms. Which link is being mentioned here? Biotic, abiotic. Will not be talking about this here, but I just want to take the reference of, because we have got different types of environment. I have uploaded the video on Köppen's classification. You can take note of that. If I'm in the environment which is warm and wet versus I'm in an environment which is cold and dry, will it not be that the adaptations of organisms, the type of organisms, their specimen will be different? So automatically I'll have structure and function of ecosystem as standard, but because we have got different habitats, we'll have different types of ecosystems. That is mentioned here. So if I take the reference of this statement here, ecosystems are two major types, terrestrial and aquatic. Terrestrial ecosystem is classified into biomes. A biome is plant and animal community that covers a large geographical area. The boundaries of different biomes on land is determined mainly by climate. So I can have forest biome, I can have desert biome, I can have grassland biome, and mind it, it absolutely overlaps with climate. A biome can be defined as a total assemblage of plants and animal species interacting within specific conditions. These include rainfall, temperature, humidity, and soil conditions. The biomes of the world I have already mentioned: forest, grassland, desert, tundra. And when I talk about aquatic, the aquatic ecosystem can be classed as marine and freshwater ecosystem. Marine includes oceans, marginal water bodies, estuaries, and freshwater includes, it is mentioned in our NCERT, lakes, ponds, streams, marshes. We are not getting to these details here. We are simply talking about the structure of ecological system. I hope this video will give you a big startup to this chapter number 15. I'll be continuing on with the types of ecosystem and some of the biochemical cycles in the continuity in next week. So take support of NCERT content. I have just taken the first 3 pages right now in this video. I'll be enlarging it with the biochemical cycles and types of terrestrial and aquatic biomes in the continuity in the next video. Happy learning to all of you and all the very best.